This is a Best Syndication News video production. On February 5th, the local voters of Phelan and Pinon Hills will decide on a community service district. We attended a meeting of the candidates for the Board of Directors on January 8th. This is that meeting.
In about 1988, I was into watching motorcycle road racing up at Willow Springs Raceway. So I'd ride my bike from Norco to Willow Springs, and one day I kind of looked over the rise and saw some scattered homes in a little miniature town here, and I thought, that's kind of cool. So I pulled into a real estate office, and it took me out to some property. I bought 2.5 acres in Phelan when I was 21. And a year later, I built my house, and I've been here ever since. So I've done pretty much all of my adult life here. I'm in the process of raising 2 children and a niece currently, and I love living here. I'm very passionate about Phelan, Pinon Hill, in this area, and I want to be part of this board to help protect this community and maintain the lifestyles that we all enjoy. You know, as Joe said, when in the past, when we've had issues as far as aggressive encroachment or development and so forth, this community stood up for the most part and said that's not what they want. So I want to help through the CSD in supporting what this community wants. My background is business-based. I'm one of the owners of a business down the hill that manufactures oil coolers for industrial applications, power generation, oil and gas, freight line trucks, that kind of deal. So I know how to run a business, and we do very well at the business, and I'd like to take some of those skills and incorporate them into being a director of the CSD and make sure that we start this CSD program or this process off properly. The goal should not be, in my opinion, to lower rates or to increase the banner signs or what have you. I mean, the gist of our intent here as a board, should I be elected and the other folks here elected, we need to focus on the strength of this infrastructure for the future. We can get fancy later on, but for the first 2 to 4 years, I think the necessity is we need to make sure that what we have is going to function properly and is going to be feasible financially and maintained properly, and we can hand it off to someone in the future and they can continue that and continue to improve upon it. But first things first, we've got to build a proper foundation. And there are questions with the Zone L that we have today. I mean, there's questions about some of the infrastructure as far as the stability of it and the longevity of it. And that's the stuff we need to tackle immediately and make sure that we have a CSD system, water, streetlights, parks and rec, for generations to come. Thank you.
Good evening, Mike Adams. I've lived here since 1970. We built our house here, my wife and I. We hauled water for 8 years in our water truck from Baldy Mesa. Not something that's a lot of fun to do, so we were happy when the water system came in. But it seemed as though as the years went by, this entity that came to serve us, because nobody was watching the store, and you know that's how government is. If you don't watch them, they'll pretty soon take over. And there seemed to be no control. So we became a little concerned. We got involved in it, in the oversight of it, and saw that there were some abuses. We were being abused at the hands of our county managers, I believe, and a lot of people here do too. So we've been working for, probably since the year 2000, trying to get self-governance here. We formed the Committee for Self-Governance. We spent a lot of time at Stater Brothers passing out flyers when there were some outrageous abuses, and this community responded like I've never seen any community respond. You can take flyers and you can take petitions, but if people don't sign them, they're no good. And this community responds to things like that. So it got me interested because I knew we had something very special here that not only I felt, but everybody did. So we we came to the point that we felt we could do a better job managing this than was being done. And that was about the time that Victorville made its move, as Charlie said, for 20-some hundred acres to get a sphere of influence in here. And everyone knows Victorville's motives if you've lived here very long. What they did to Baldy Mesa and Victor Valley Water District was something that I'll never forget. I think Victor Valley Water District had millions of dollars in reserves, and I would imagine that somehow they've just mysteriously migrated to the city of Victorville. I have no proof of that, but I'm sure they did. So what my family, what we want to do is we want to make sure this stays a rural community, 2.5 acres. I am I'll oppose anything that cuts this up into half-acre parcels. This community works the way it is. The water system was designed for 2.5 acres. So one of the first things that I believe needs to be done when we form this, if it passes, and the passing of this means more to me than whether I'm elected. I want this to pass, and I would like to be part of getting it off on the right foot. But I believe part of that is the budget process. I spent 5 years on the Water Advisory Commission. The budgets are encoded with numbers that you can't interpret. You can't understand it. They will not give you a detailed budget. We tried to get one from the county. That will not happen if I have anything to do with it here. And I think everyone here that's running for the board agrees that we want accountability. We will be willing to be held accountable by the community. And that's the first thing that needs to be done in any organization. So it'll be financial documents that you can understand. Secondly, drilling in LA County. We want to get as many wells as we can over there, because that water has no pumping charge. There's no replacement charge. It's just free water for the pumping. We tried to get our managers to do that, and they've drug their feet for many years. We still don't have the well up yet. As far as the structure of the board, I fully believe that it should be a non-compensated position. We work for the community. They don't work for us. I've seen so many boards that will start slowly tacking on compensation. Pretty soon they become just like the managers we had. I don't want to see that. So that's something I feel very strongly about. But I do believe that self-governance here will give you an opportunity to manage this and not have to go down to the San Bernardino County Hall and discuss it with supervisors who have 1,000 other things to do. To them are more important than managing this district. So I think we have a wonderful opportunity here, and I would hope that everyone shares my vision in that. And if you do, then I am available for a directorship. Thank you.
My name is David Roberts. Can you hear me back there? No. Okay, I'll go over here then. Is this better? Is this better? Yeah. Okay. One advantage of being the last is you're probably all pretty tired of listening to people by now, because I don't like talking that much. I'm more conversational mode, so I'll ask a question. How many of you still need any serious convincing to vote for the CSD? Show of hands. Okay. Takes care of that part of it. Now, my biggest fear is that there's going to be a whole bunch of people going to the polls that aren't going to know anything about this, and if they don't know anything about it, they're probably going to vote no, like rational, sane people would. So talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, talk to anybody, whatever, get it done. This is important. Myself, I've worked in real estate the last.
This has been a Best Syndication News video production.